Sure did. What's the 441 Martians? Peace, blessings, and all that shit. Y'all get in here, man. Let's tap in and talk about these occult movies. Welcome, welcome. This is the first installment. We're going to have some fun. I got next Friday on the docket. So deep dive with your boy Wise Eye. Let's deep dive. Now, next Friday isn't such a serious movie. It doesn't have, a real deep spiritual understanding or occult meaning. But I just wanted to pick out some interesting things that I found parallel to the spiritual walk. You feel me? Grab your little hors d'oeuvres, grab your little drink, grab your little cigar, whatever you want to do to enjoy your time. But we're going to kick back and deep dive, man. Let me guide you through this experience so that you can begin to open your eyes to more connections in a movie, because movies are all symbolic. And these breakdowns can sometimes help you when you're breaking down your dream. Your dream, when you sleep or you're astral projecting, your dream doesn't always, fit the same script as you see in your visual, if that makes sense. Let's get into the first slide, family. So movies and music, that's 12th house energy. That's the unseen spiritual side of things. That is the dreams, the fantasies, the space where you're able to connect to the source in a unseen type of way. The spirit, always has secrets to tell. Enemies, secret gifts. It has a lot of different things packed into that house that you want to pay attention to. Music, melody, all those things are Neptunian traits, belonging to the signature of Pisces. But that whole aspect of stories coming together, their dreams or their fantasies, they come from somewhere. A lot of these stories are outlandish, just like this one we're getting into tonight, next Friday. Outlandish, timeless story. These things come from an unseen place. So let's get to the next slide. Importance of understanding what you digest. So the whole reason that we do occult movies and we break down particular things, because we want to gain a sense of understanding of what the subconscious picks up on. That's one. And then two, we want to start to comb out and weed out the things that are just pure viruses for our body. There's certain things that we should not be watching or ingesting into our psyche or our mindset. And for example, I got drill music and pornography here. Those two things, they really harm the experience of reality because it warps you into a particular mindset. Now, drill music, for many reasons, we understand exactly why listening to why you're going to kill your ops or, have sex with a girl that you don't even like or a man that you don't even like just to, to set them up and get them into a situation. All these different modalities. And it gets you into a mindset of warped realities. Like I said, 12th house energy speaks through movies and music and the unseen. So there's unseen message. Just like pornography, there's a misogynistic style of energy when you watch porn. Maybe if porn was like some sensual, inspiring type of thing, maybe it's not so bad. It's just kind of get you in the mood or some shit. But if you're watching, somebody getting choked out, you know how they do on the websites. It just warps your mindset as to what's reality. And especially for our young beings, kids watching, they got these smartphones and these devices. You can just pull up anything. It's on Twitter. Pornography is on Twitter feed. So it's so difficult to fight the realities and and to keep the viruses at bay. So to hear or view valuable digestions allows for downloads, upgrades, and remembering oneself. To view or hear destructive digestions also for allows for forgetting who you are, or spellbinding, or literal destruction. So next slide, but that's just a little breakdown on why I started doing these occult movies, to give a deeper insight as to what they're talking about. And I'm just scratching the surface on some of these movies. You know, I know other people that do very good breakdowns, and you know, I'm learning how to use that third eye so I can pull out that real edification of what the movie is about. So, boom, let's get right into it, family. Because Ice Cube's, he's nothing short of a genius. You know, Ice Cube has many collective hits under his belt. And he's a visionary. He's a Gemini sun placement. I didn't look up his chart or nothing, but I do know he's a Gemini sun, and he has a way with connecting the dots. So he started out in NWA, but if you remember, he didn't last too long because, for one, they was trying to shift him out of his money, and then two, he realized that they was in some shark, you know, loan shark type of energy anyway. So he got out of that and started doing his own thing, and he started banging on, you know, the realities of what he wanted to talk about. But he started getting into movies, and the movies, you know, they started with Boys in the Hood, I think, and then, you know, he just started laying them out after Friday. But these things come from an unseen place, and whether he done these on purpose or not, there's always a spiritual modality that's working through his penmanship or his avatar or his self. So whether this is all on purpose or not, we don't know. But Good Friday, if you think about Good Friday, you think about the Friday before Easter, and that's usually on that Sunday. So the most recent culture I can remember, Good Friday, I know everybody wants to go shopping and get ready for Sunday, Easter Sunday. So it's always a sale on Good Friday. They always got a bunch of stuff on sale, you know, dot dot dot. In the Bible, Good Friday is supposed to represent the day of crucifixion and the day that he was judged in front of everyone, the day that he was pretty much taken into a death. And this is a physical death in the Bible, but the symbology of it all is introspect of your eternal understanding of who you are. So Jesus had to kill his ego in order to rise into a new being, like he does as a phoenix on that Sunday, and that's what Easter is representing, and that's that Ishtar energy, and you know, all of that is compounded into this next Friday and the Friday after next. The entire series is compounded into that, because if you think about what the Fridays movies represent, it's about a hard, difficult time and having to adjust your ability to solve a problem in a short amount of time. And that was pretty much Jesus's thing too. He had to figure out how was he going to resurrect himself, you know, at age 33, and he has the sun, you know, wrapped around his head. Sun is enlightenment, and the cross is strictly the death of his old patterns, old self. So when the phoenix arises, it goes off into the heavens, leaving ash on the ground. But anyway, Craig plays Day-Day's spiritual guidance. So you can already see he has the lighter on the cover. You know, that's a symbol of enlightenment. You know, he wears the number 4 as a symbol of stability and foundation. And if you break down the 4 into reverse numerology, that's a 22. That's a master number that involves teaching others. So Craig is the master teacher, you know. And if you think about it, in the first movie, Craig was the one being taught. He was kind of initiated. He was getting initiated. Debo was his devil, so if you will, and his pops was his ancestors, and he even had a reflection which was Smokey. Smokey was low key the spirit, his spirit guide a little bit, but then he really won't. That one was a little weird. I didn't break that down just yet, but Smokey was the one that had the weed problem. So in essence, he was the initiate that failed. So Craig was pretty much leading someone while he was getting initiated, in so many words. So Craig learned how to beat Debo up, and he made more problems because Debo getting out. Now you got to go to Rancho Cucamonga. So Spirit had to get out of there. He's been initiated, but now he has the four for stability. And Day Day is the initiate in this movie. So he undergoes all the stress and he confronts his fears. And Craig's right there to save him, help him, and guide him all the way through it. Pops and Uncle Elroy, they kind of like the spirit team. You know, Auntie Sugar, whatever nasty ass. You know, all of them, they like the spirit team. And then you got Homegirl, which is like the spiritual balance to the any movie that you ever see is going to be getting a woman or getting a guy, depending on who you are. And Debo, Jokers, and Baby D, you know, they're committed to defeat the initiate. They're committed to getting, you know, Craig is Day Day's spirit guide. Debo is already on Craig's top. Then Baby Joker, you know, we'll get into that in a minute. But next slide, y'all. So, intuition. Let's see if we can get this to play.
Told you. We be letting you know. Evil alert.
Hey. Y'all remember that from the first movie, right? Oh man. So it's a very funny scene, but y'all know Smokey, right? It's no way you're gonna get around a smoker and be fake or act. And let's go ahead and be the first to raise their hand. I am a smoker. You know, I've learned how to do my balance with smoking. I used to be very heavy on smoking. I used to be like dependent on that shit. But now I'm learning the genius in the plant, and I'm learning to respect it a lot more. So I'm learning to schedule my times or to make my time ceremonial or meditative when I get into my vibes. So I'm learning the intuition about the weed and that's, you know, aka the marijuana and the THC. So next slide. Wait, before I get into that, remember though, Craig wasn't really into the smoking. And then Craig he's an avid smoker. He's in the first scene, he's rolling up in the bathroom. You understand? So now he's enlightened in this movie. Next slide. Benefits of the THC marijuana plant, because obviously, you know, it kills cancer. There's a lot of different things they talked about when the vax was going on, and it killing certain things in the air. You know, everybody's free to have their own opinions and their own digestion, and this is just, you know, my side of the territory. But in my research, I've learned that the tobacco leaf and the marijuana is affectionately known as our weed, was originally used in ceremonial and ritual use, you know, in the shaman days. Just the regular people would use it, you know, when there was a big celebration or a big thing going on. But the shamans and the priests, the ones that was prestigious to the nation and were in contact or constant contact with spirit, they were the ones that smoked these pipes, these leaves, and they experimented in a lot of plant medicines and were the ones that brought the plant medicines to the nations to heal, because they didn't just use them for enjoyment and enlightenment. It was for healing modalities as well. But if you notice, your sense of inner thoughts is heightened. Your creativity is heightened. Your auric field is heightened. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, or if it's your first time, you may have a smoke and you get nervous. You have that nervous energy or that anxious energy. It's because you have now opened yourself up to the ability to connect with the etheric realm that's all around you, the unseen part of the realm that you cannot see, touch, or feel. So it gives a heightened energy and understanding to that part of the body, and it's pulling it in through the aura, and the aura is able to download it to your being, and it's like a Wi-Fi signal. It's like your Wi-Fi signal got turned up a little bit, hotspot or whatever. You got a phone, but you got to call somebody. You got to ask somebody, hey, can I use your hotspot? You turn the hotspot on, now you're getting all the messages. Ding, 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 all the downloads. So it's more like that. You get into too much of it, you'll get into a stupor and you'll forget everything. So there's a fine tune when dealing with this plant, and it's not just an enjoyable thing, It's a metaphysical tool, if you will. This divine plant is known to come from the dog star Sirius. And if you know, you know. So you see Spirit right in the middle of everything. He hanging with the Spirit team. And what Uncle Elroy say? Uncle Elroy say, I don't give a damn how high you get, long as you let me hit it. Oh man. And if you follow or listen to particular leaders, all of them not gonna have the same idealism, because everybody has particular functions in the nation. Some people are straight and narrow and need to be straight and narrow for a specific group of people. Then there are wilder ones, and they're more of the priests and the shaman types, the one that try things and find out what works for the nation. So people like Bobby Hemming, he has understandings of the alcohol and the different drugs, quote unquote, usage as a spiritual connection. It has nothing to do with enjoyment or being a drunk, is what he would call it. But he explains that, spirits require that, and you're an altar. You're actually the altar too. You know how you put alcohol on your altar? I hear a lot of people talk that spiritual shit. They be like, yeah, I only put alcohol on my altar. But my nigga, you are an altar, right? Your body is an altar, right? You put herbs on them candles, right? You put alcohol on them altars, right? For your spirit team, right? You do all these different things, right? So you have to make sure you're doing the same thing for yourself. Your body, your temple. Your body is a temple. You've heard that before. Temple, replace that with altar. The altar is the portal to the divine. You don't need all those altars. All that shit is just for you to have a reminder or a better understanding of symbolism. Just like the movies that we're breaking down, you have a certain candle or you have a certain statue on your altar, quote unquote. That's just a energy signature that represents a particular modality that you're trying to balance or allow to lead you or allow to give you a particular guidance in. Does that make sense? But yeah, that's the download on marijuana and the plant. You see my boy Super Mario. That game came out in the 80s, and he was eating mushrooms. He was getting flowers. He was getting all kind of stuff. He was turning into a raccoon. Like, that was on some real science. They knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Spirit speaks through these movies and these music. And that's a video game, but that's a movie. That's a vision. That's a fantasy. You feel me? That's a fantasy turned into a game. Next slide. So boom, right off the bat, y'all, we all know the movie, so we're not gonna go through every part of the movie. But right off the bat, you remember what happened when Craig got to the spot. Day was hype. Day was like, yeah, let's do the whoop, the whoop, the whoop. And let me, I'm gonna show you homegirl. Let me meet Mrs. Ho. You know what I'm saying? That's this the neighborhood. Da. He like, oh, there's the jokers. Don't mess with them. Da. Like he gave him the whole rundown. He like, everything cool. He like, look, I got a job. I got this. I'm good. Everything's straight. So he was on some. I'm good. What are we gonna do? We gonna kick it this summer. So, all right off the bat. Let's see if we can get a. Yeah, let's see. Look at my man. Right off the bat, he done got baby mama drama. And if you notice, all the stuff that's happening, Craig brings it to his attention. Anything that happens in the movie, Craig is the messenger of it. Because you remember, he told Unc, he said, Unc, so-and-so outside. And then Uncle Elroy was like, yeah, that crazy bitch out there again. So he go out there, get pepper sprayed up, get mopped up. But I think before that, he got Craig, while Day in there trying to tell him what's happening, Craig is already checking them like, no, them ain't 10s. I mean 20s, them 10s, you know, they look good, blah, blah, blah. But them ain't 20s. So Craig is on his crown off the top. So he go over there, talk to Darla. Darla and Baby Joker see Darla and him rapping. He put Chico out on Craig. So Spirit get attacked ASAP. He running over to the other side. They on top of the beamer. Craig jump off the beamer, breaking stuff, tearing stuff up. Data is pissed. They like, when you going home? Cause I gotta live here and you don't. I gotta I gotta go to work, man. Move, get out of the way. Oh man, but that's how it be when you got spirit coming through, man, to crash the party. That's usually that Pluto and Uranian energy, and they have an idea that you can't see, that they're putting together. You know, that your sun or your Venus can't see, because your planets are different energies, and they're just different ancestors. So I'm putting a video together for that. Be on the lookout. It should be on the timeline as you watch this. So look up and down, check it out. Anyway, but you see how Craig just comes through, and that Pluto energy is just wrecking shop. And he ain't done. This is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Next slide. All right, let's get to the next slide. I can't move it. There we go. Spiritual attacks. Boom, boom, pow. So, fast forward. They sad in a midnight. So, what done happened? Everything done happened since by the time they get to this clip. His whole life ruined. His car got scratched up. His pride and joy off the bat. He done been maced in the front of the yard. Spirit and Spirit team had to hose him down, get him ready for his BS job that's really holding him back, because Craig gets a message at the house. Think about it like this: he was having his little smoke, and then, you know, Sugar and Uncle Elroy, the other side of the Spirit team, they go do their thing. But Craig have his little fantasy about Darla, but the fantasy get interrupted by a message that says, "Hey, y'all niggas got delinquent tax notice. Y'all owe $3,500 by tomorrow." So Craig try to take it up to Uncle Elroy. He like, man, they drunk, whatever they in on. They halfway molest Craig and send him on his way. So he got to get out of there. He got to go walk over to Day. He ends up pulling up on my boy, telling him the bad news. Before all that gets even worked out, your girl come through with Baby D. Baby D run him around the yard. He get Baby D up off him by giving Craig Craig, which is the spirit team, he ended up giving his spirit away so he could save his little tail. Because, you know, he the one that created that mess with the baby mama. And now he don't want to deal with it. So now he running from it. So, Spirit, what Spirit do? Spirit try to cheer him up. And now you got Roach in the movie. You know, I didn't speak about Roach. Roach is like the reflection to Day Day. Like, he's the initiate as well. He's just a different version so that you can see the other perspective. So he's like the free-spirited one that doesn't have black problems. You know, he doesn't have problems, but he's still an ally. You know what I mean? So that's Roach. Craig's spirit. He's got the spiritual tools, and Day Day's in shambles because he's going through what you call the dark night of the soul. And it's not so much of him being alone, it's so much of his whole world crashing down and him having the tower moments, him having to deal with it. And what does he do? He gets enlightened. You know what I'm saying? They up in Pinky spot, smoking it out. You know what I'm saying? What he get to do? He started talking about old times when he was a kid, when Craig was a kid, and all these different memories and stuff. It took him back to reflection, you know? Reflection. And all this stuff is subtle, and it sounds like you could be just making shit up and freestyling, but you're really not. Like I said, all this stuff is here for a story, and it's a symbology, of course, because the art of storytelling, you're not going to just straight up tell the same story over and over. You're going to tell the same story in a different fashion, different light, so that it can ignite the soul in however it needs to. So, like I said in the other video about the intro about the everybody's gods, they're all different modalities. So spirit's not going to always reflect or be able to connect with a movie like this with everyone. And everyone's not going to have the understanding to subconsciously connect, as you know, if it's a different genre and it doesn't appeal to you. You follow what I'm saying? So while he's getting enlightened, Spirit goes to the bathroom. But what the heck done happened here? Hater done pulled up on the scene, pulled up on Spirit. He said, "Nigga, you trying to rob me?" He said, we're on Day Day and Roach. So he kept asking them and pressing them, but he wouldn't even listen to what the Spirit was trying to tell him. So I look at Pinky as the hater family member, because or even a friend or the loved one or the spouse or the, you know, whoever just don't believe in Spirit. So they'll challenge Spirit. They'll be like, "Man, who the fuck is you?" So nigga, what you done with my son? What you done with my wife? What you done with my husband? You know, that's how people that's suspicious of Spirit be. They be reckless with Spirit. They don't even know who they really talking to. You know what I'm saying? So that's him being confronted with a hater. So Spirit working fights out that the initiate has no idea about. You know, after the fight gets worked out, you know, they find out. But, you know, he pressing them. You know, and then he being regular. Man, look, I trying to tell you, that's my cousin. He in the back. We just dot. So before Pinky could listen, I forgot what happens. The gun gets dropped or something happens. So they start wrestling, tussling, and fighting. So Craig, Spirit, wins. Of course, he gets up. He don't even do nothing to him. He get the gun in his face. He be like, "Look, man, shut up." He said, "I'm trying to tell your dumb ass, Craig is my cousin. Day Day is my cousin. He's in the back." Pinky done bitched out. Now he like, "Man, whatever you say, man. I got a girlfriend, a wife on the side." Pinky killed that scene, but Pinky was the one that represents the family member, because now what? Now the Spirit done proved itself to him. He a hater. So when he look over at Craig and I keep calling Day Day Craig. He look over at Day Day and Roach and tell them they fired. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both fired. And they like, this some bullshit. He like, nah, shut up. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Now that I know you just a spiritual ass. Gotta. You ain't gonna kill me. Thought you was gonna kill me. You know? So he represent that hater or that one that just don't believe. So spiritual attacks been jumping off ever since Craig pulled up to Rancho Cucamonga. You know what I'm saying? It's been going down. Next slide. So we jump into it after they done got fired. Bunch of shit done jumped off. For some reason, Pops get alerted. Pops is the spirit team. And he gets alerted that Craig is in trouble. Come quick. All because Tyrone and Debo, they done crank called Pops and told him to take me to Craig because they trying to find out where he at. So Spirit team gets messages all the time in the weirdest ways that you'll never, ever be able to put together. And even at the moment that it happened, when Tyrone hit Pops, he wasn't in trouble. But we all know the story. When Pops got down there, he was in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So let's fast forward to this. Craig is trying to get Day to not get kicked out the house because he just got fired. And if you know anything about a spiritual awakening, you're getting fired from your job, my boy. You getting fired or you gonna walk away? Which one you gonna do? Which one you gonna do? If you chosen and you on a spiritual journey, you getting fired from that job. I'm telling you right now. So go ahead and walk away when you can, the most convenient way that you can, because Spirit's gonna snatch that job. I'm telling you, take my word for it. Anyway, so they like, nigga, we ain't little no more. Come on, nigga. Craig like, what? Nigga, get over there. So he punking him. He telling him, get your act together, my nigga. We going over here. We gonna get this job done so we can get your house and your Pop's house squared away. So fast forward, what happened? Your boy getting into some dumb shit. He ended up getting tied up. They end up getting tied up. Him and Roach. I told you they the reflections. They both the mirrors. So they get tied up, and you know the story. Day copping pleas. Day done. He shouldn't even went to the door in the first place. He shouldn't even never did that. That's the last thing he should have did. He should have waited on Spirit to get his ass out of there. Anyway, they into some shit. Fast forward, Spirit team pull up. Fast forward, Spirit kicking ass. Fast forward, your boy got knocked the hell out. You know what I'm saying? You know the end of the movie. Next slide. Whoa, too far, y'all. Y'all ain't see that. The family's safe. Day survived. Help the Spirit get the money. You know what I'm saying? Simple, easy peasy, vibe. You know what I'm saying? They wrapped up the boys, all the gangsters, all the criminals, or all the intruders. Call them criminals, nigga. If you're trying to intrude on a chosen one's life, that's a criminal act. You're going to lose. Spirit come out with the pump full of money. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Elroy like, thanks, thanks, nephew, appreciate you. He don't say thanks, Day. He tell nephew, thanks. Sugar about molesting, raped him. And then Day and Craig, Day and Roach, they say peace out. He got his dog instead of Joker's. So he found a new best friend. This man's best friend. But right here is the moving on up scene. And They moved on up to the east side. So that's a symbol for enlightenment. The Enlightenment rising, moving on up. That's the Jeffersons. To the east, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know to know. You know, that's a spirit team right there. They was helping everybody get moved on up. So that closes out the mission and initiation for Day. So that was just a quick dive with your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? We in the deep end. I mean, we in the kiddie pool kind of with this. But I'm gonna start tapping in, you know, with more, and we'll have, you know, a little more esoteric involvement. These are just cool. That was just a cool little vibe to see how this was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what movies y'all want me to break down or deep dive into, because I got a list of them I'm already interested in, and I'm gonna wheel them out the way I need to. But I like to put them together with these little visuals so that we can, you know, stay on point. They don't got to be super long. I ain't got to sit and do no 3-hour live chat on a bunch of, you know, different stuff to stream together. I want to have concise, small points of view in these little breakdowns. That way we're not getting too far off onto a tangent. You feel me? And I'm not just spewing. So I'm going to get into the ministry side of things too, but I want to have presentations that enlighten throughout my YouTube, and then we're going to get our Patreons together. But for right now, you know, help your boy get the ministry together. Moordreamz, Cashapp, you know, because we starting out real slow, and like all ministries, we need good, faithful people to involve themselves into the culture, involve themselves into the genre. So if y'all enjoyed this, you know, I think I'm gonna do Spider-Verse next, and that's all about the metaphysics of being different people in the same timeline. You know what I'm saying? That's really the breakdown of what that is. But we're gonna kind of get into it and break that down just to have some fun. You know, I wanna share these weekly at least. So y'all stay tuned. Love, peace, blessings. 100, 1,000, however you like to do it. Till next time, eat the thumbs up. Y'all stay wise.